Hi, everybody. Welcome to Magic Universe. This is message from Universe 15. It is a message from Universe for you right now, and also it's part of the Pick a Message playlist, which you can find out how to play with the playlist in the description box below. If you're interested in a private reading or healing, you can go to my website at magicuniverse.co. Thank you. And thank you guys for getting private healings and readings from me. It's really awesome. I really enjoy doing them. All right, so this is message from Universe 15. Enjoy. Okay, so message from Universe 15. You're vibrating at a deep blue, kind of like a night sky blue. And when I look at your spread, I'm seeing that color. It's similar to the background in the Swan card, that blue right there. And what I'm getting from that, and also the spread that came out for you, the cards that came out for you. Okay, let me paint this big picture for you. So here you are on your path, and it's a long road, right? Because you're an infinite being. And on this path, you're headed towards your treasure island, like right here, the first card that came out for you. The success, the things that you're wanting to manifest for you, you're on your way there. It's coming, okay? Your spirit universe is wanting you to pay closer attention to the process of your path, meaning like, yes, you have your goal and you want your goal to manifest, but let's take a look at the where you are now, or like on your way to going to where you want to be, right? Because this isn't talking about like the reaching the goal and then being happy at that time. This is more talking about like, okay, here you are, you're working towards whatever you're working towards. And along the way, checking in with yourself, make sure everything is feeling good, make sure everything is in alignment, make sure that the choices that you're making and the things that you're doing are the things that you want to do, that you're headed in the, it's not that you're headed in the wrong direction. It's more like, it's like a fine tuning, like a tweaking of the things that you're doing while you're on this like big picture path where you are headed the right way, but it's like just making sure everything is kind of right along the way. And yeah, checking in with yourself and then allowing fresh new insights to come in. So say you've been on this path a while and you have established a routine or like a habit of some sort, and you're like, okay, well, this is me. I kind of know who I am already, and and this is how I do things, and you're just kind of like not really even thinking about how you're doing things, and you're just doing it because that's the way you've been doing it. So universe is saying, hey, let's take a look at that. Let's pay attention, really check in with yourself and make sure that the things, the regular everyday things that you're doing, like, hey, maybe there's like a fresh new idea that's coming in that because sometimes you're on a routine, you just kind of like push that aside and like it wants to come in and say, hey, pay attention to me. But because you're on a routine, like you're on a momentum that you don't know, either you don't notice it or you just kind of push it aside and no, this is what I usually do. And like, you don't pay attention to those fresh ideas that might be just trying to get your attention and say, hey, try me, try this, like that, right? So this is really good. So, I mean, this is kind of like, your success is there, your goal is there, you know where you're headed. That big picture is good, okay? And so this is about like, hey, let's fine tune it. Let's take a look and see if on your way there, the process of it could go smoother, could even be happier, like kind of being happy along your way to where you're going, right? All right, so that's that's the general message. So let's go into the specific cards, okay? So so we talked about the treasure island, and okay, treasure island with the narrow pathway next to it. That kind of has to do with like, because both cards talks about their success. The success is imminent. You're on your way there, but if you look at Treasure Island, it's on your vehicle of choice is like a sea turtle or tortoise or whatever that is, right? Where it's like, that's not a fast moving animal. That's like a long term, it has longevity because they live a really long time, right? But it's like a slow moving animal, right? And if you look at Narrow Pathway, that talks about, it says tread thoughtfully. You're going the right way, but, just take care that you're stepping, you're taking care of where you're stepping, you're checking to make sure, you're on the pathway, stuff like that. So there's like a slowing or like a slowness to it where it's like a steady thing where you're checking to see that everything is okay along the way. Like I've been saying, I keep repeating that, but that's like the main message. And honesty is essential. Speak with truth and love. I feel like this is talking about that check in with yourself to make sure that the things that you're doing are still in alignment with what your bigger goal of what you're wanting to do. And it's about being honest with yourself. And let's read this together with the Rose Meditation and Oya expression. It's like the way you're expressing yourself, like the way you're thinking about yourself on the inside, the way you're expressing yourself on the outside. Universe is saying, hey, let's take a look, let's fine tune that, let's take a look at that and see if how you're expressing yourself or how you're feeling about yourself on the inside, is all of that in alignment. And there's a meditation that they're suggesting, which is really cool, because the Rose Meditation, I'll give you a look at the back and you can pause the video and read that for yourself. But basically, this is the process through which I look at the color of when I set up readings, right? When I set up the energy for the reading, when I look at colors and stuff like that, this is how I do it. So let's do it right now. Close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. And you're just going to settle into your body, right? And take some deep breaths. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. If you need to do more breathing to really settle into yourself, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to move on. And just have your consciousness be in the center of your head. And so about like a foot in front of you, imagine a rose. Just let it appear in your mind's eye. And just for right now, just take a look at it and see what color is it? What does it look like? Is it a big rose, a small rose? How long is the stem? And just notice things about it. And if you see that, maybe it's not that healthy of a looking rose, right? Imagine it healthier. Imagine it blooming. Imagine it glowing. And allow the stem of the rose to stretch all the way down to the center of the earth so that it's grounded. It's connected to the earth. Now that you've made your rose really pretty for you to look at, just watch it and allow your rose to fill up with the energy of where you want to be on your path. And take a look at that energy. Is it showing up as a color, as a picture? And check with yourself to see, hey, ask your spirit, is my expression of myself, matching that true inner core of who I really am, and allow your rose to show you that and show you any adjustments you may need to make in your life so that you can match who you really are. And just allow that information, that wisdom to really sink in to you. And this should feel like a knowing, okay? If you're seeing anything in your rose that makes you feel hesitation or scared or any kind of feeling that does feel bad, then you might need to really meditate a little bit more before you look at your rose, okay? Because what we're doing is we're connecting with your spirit, and your spirit is giving you information. And that kind of communication is vibrating at a love vibration. And so you should feel like a warmth or like a knowing inside you, like, yes, that's my truth. If you're seeing anything in your rose that doesn't look good and it's making you feel any other way than loving warmth, then that means you're not really in your space enough to really connect with your spirit at a high vibration to look at a true information, okay? So you might want to retry this rose meditation in a separate sitting when you're in a more peaceful, calm state, okay? So now take your rose and you can just move it really, really far away in your mind's imagination, right? And you can put a bomb underneath it and blow it up because we're done looking at it. And just let it explode into tiny little pieces. And you're going to call your own energy back into yourself once again. Allow a large golden sun to appear above your head. That's full of your own energy. And you can rub your hands together. Open up your hand chakras, reach up above your head and pull that golden sun of your own energy down, down, down into your body and filling up every little molecule of you, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And you can open your eyes. So that's like a quickie version of a clairvoyant session that you can do whenever you want. But yes, if you want to do it properly, you kind of have to get yourself into that really, into that zone, that meditated zone, right? And then you're able to connect with your spirit and clairvoyantly look and see messages that your spirit has for you, okay? So that was a little quickie session right there. And so basically, within this reading, universe is saying, hey, what you saw in that rose, that message that you got from your spirit, is it matching the expression of yourself, right? Are you being honest with yourself? Like the little things that you're doing in your life, maybe your habits, maybe something needs to be changed, maybe something needs to be explored more. Maybe you're already doing it, but then maybe you want to go into it a little bit deeper, right? And just kind of check where you are on your path, right? To see how things are going. Are things feeling right? Okay, so on the second row, you have Snow Angel. The signs are with you already. That's talking about as you're going on this path, your spirit, your team, your spiritual team, universe, right? They're giving you signs along the way to kind of help you to check and balance whether things are going right, like the fine tuning, right? Like maybe you have questions about how should I be doing this, or should I just little questions like that for whatever it is that you're working on. This could be like a career thing, a schooling thing. This could be like a relationship thing, like, and you're checking to see, am I, it's kind of like, am I doing it right? But more so like, how can I improve this, or how can I make it better? Or, because even though sometimes like things are good, but you're always wanting to, as a being, right, as a consciousness, creating life on earth, right, creating your life on earth, you're experiencing your reality on earth. Part of that spiritual expansion that the entire universe is going through, including all of the beings, all the consciousnesses in the universe, the one of the purposes of that is the expansion, the growth, right? Which is about improvement, which is about always feeling better and better and better and better, growing, right? And so, and being more joyful, with it. That's how the expansion of the universe goes, right? And so it's about checking to see like your growth, checking to see how much joy, checking to see how much alignment am I in. And then, because there's always like, with everything that you do, there's plateaus that you hit, right? And also in that slowness of the journey that we were talking about earlier, there's a joy in being able to how should I put this? Kind of like that thing where people talk about when you're on a trip somewhere, going from A to B, and then it's not about the landing in the B part, right? It's about like along the way, are you enjoying the sights, the sounds? Are you having beautiful moments on the way there? Are you enjoying the plane ride to where you're going and stuff like that? And it's like, universe wants you to check in on that. Are you enjoying right now? Are you enjoying your now? And then like the signs that you're receiving from your spiritual team, like you can tell by how you feel if things are feeling right for you, and if something could be a little bit better, could something feel a little bit better. And so that's what the snow angel is talking about, is that they've been giving you signs. They want you to notice these signs. They want you to notice that, hey, we're constantly talking to you. We're constantly leaving you little trails and breadcrumbs. Like, are you noticing that we're talking to you? Like, are you noticing that we're letting you know whether you're on track or not, And so, yeah, they're wanting you to pay attention to that. And so I feel like this whole reading is about that. It's like you're going on your way to where you're going, and it's like, are you paying attention to the now? Are you paying attention to the little things that are there that are letting you know that keep going, keep doing this, or like, hey, maybe you want to change this. Like, are you noticing those little things that they're leaving you, right? The little tidbits of wisdom and information. And if you look at the next three cards, like it talks about that. Like there's the King of Swords, which is like the person who's like, more mature, who knows what they're doing, right? And then there's the Page of Swords, who's like the kid, right? And both of these are you, okay? And actually, even in the third card, the Four of Cups, that's you too. There's the part of you that's like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it this way. And then the Page of Swords is like, oh, but there's like new ideas that, how like when you're a kid, you don't have that established way of doing things. So you're just trying new things all the time. Like, oh, I see so-and-so doing this. Let's try this. And then some of it works, some of it doesn't, right? And it's like, that's how through life experience, you figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, right? And it's like, Spirit is wanting to tell you, like, bring some of that fresh energy back into your life where you're still experimenting. You're still trying new things. You're still, seeing things with new eyes, with a fresh perspective. And you get that from, like you have new beginnings at the very end, right? And then you have Red Garden, which at the end of the second row, which that's how I read that card, is like this girl is walking through a garden to this new place that she's never been to before. And she's looking out there like kind of a little bit, she's excited to be there, but then at the same time, it's like everything is new, you know? And so when something is new, there's a little bit of a hesitation where you kind of go slower. You know, we're talking about the slowness, right, of the path, of the journey, so that you can notice everything and you're noticing new things, even though you're walking an old path or like the same path, you're noticing new things, right? And so you see that pink across her eyes. So that's how I read this card a lot of times when it shows up, is talking about like seeing things with fresh eyes. And so the Four of Cups, like over there, you seeing like here's the three cups in front of you, which is the way you've been doing things. There's an extra cup that they're saying, hey, are you noticing this sign? Are you noticing this fresh new thing that's there, that's available for you? Are you noticing? Because there's something, like, even if you, now I'm just seeing this. See, now I'm looking at the cards with fresh new eyes, right? If you look at the Four of Cups and if you look at the honesty is essential card, like above it, it's kind of similar. Like this guy is offering a rose with a cupid to this girl who has her back turned, which she's not noticing something. And the same thing, there's this cup that's being offered to this boy sitting on the ground and he's not noticing it, right? So it's like there's something, and you know, Snow Angel, the signs are with you already, right? Like there's something that's being shown to you that maybe because you've been on this path that you've been on, that is like an established routine, that you're not noticing something that's like a fresh idea, a new beginning. It fits in. I don't feel like it's a huge change, okay? I feel like it's just a little something, a little tweak of something that could bring more fresh energy into whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're wanting to create in your life, okay? And then the Swan card, feisty in the spiritual growth, higher path. I am divine beauty, light, and grace. So I'm going to show you the back of this card to you so you can read that for yourself. But basically it talks about, I think it's a story about like the ugly duckling. You know how like you're the quote ugly duckling, right? But you're not really a duckling, you're a swan. And it's like along this slow moving path of yours, are you recognizing that you're the swan? Like, are you noticing the transformation that you're going through into the beauty that you are, right? Into the thing that you're going to manifest, which is the swan at the end. But along the path, you're still thinking that you're a duckling because everybody else is a duck around you. And they're thinking you should be a duck too. And it's like, are you, during your transformation and growth towards becoming the swan, like, is that, are you expressing yourself truly that you're a swan on the inside, or are you expressing yourself as one of the ducks because you think you should be like everybody else and be one of the ducks, right? And so no, take notice of that. Like, know where you're wanting to go in within that rose meditation. What were you seeing in there? That true you, right? Like, is what you're doing now matching that true you that you're manifesting into, that you're becoming into, right? You're the swan that's in you. Are you, is everything that's happening around you, in that trajectory, is that going smoothly in that direction of becoming the swan? Or are there maybe other things that you're doing where you're not completely matching that swan image and you're more like expressing yourself in a way that's not completely true to who you are, right? They're not saying you're doing anything wrong. They're saying that sometimes in the process of life, you kind of lose track of who you are, and just do a little tweaking. I mean, like I said, you know, and from the beginning, that blue, that deep blue, you, on the whole, in the big picture, everything is fine. It's just the minor little tweaking to make like your everyday life a little bit happier, a little bit more joyful, seeing things with fresh eyes. These are minor tweaks, and this is like complete fine tuning of the little processes, the little things along your process. Okay. All right. So yeah, so the swan, that swan, and the that energy within the roads that you're seeing and plus the treasure island, those three energies match. Those three energies are the fulfillment, the potential that you're becoming, right? And this is talking about like along the way right now where you are, as the quote duckling, going towards the swan. Are you noticing the signs, because they're talking to you. All right. And so, yeah, so ending on the new beginning, I feel like this is talking about like within where you are right now without making like big grand changes. You're just making tiny little tweaks. Maybe it's just a tiny little tweak about a belief in yourself, or maybe it's a tiny little tweak about just how you approach things, like mentally, psychologically. Are you approaching your day as in, oh my god, this is a beautiful day? Or are you approaching your day like, okay, I got to get this done, this done, this done, this done? Maybe that's how, like King of Swords, maybe that's how you've been doing things, like I already know my schedule. But maybe bring in a little bit of Page of Swords, right? Or the Red Garden, where it's a freshness, and just doing that, little minor tweaks like that, your life is gonna feel like a new beginning, just because you're approaching it a little bit differently. Okay, these minor tweaks are gonna make you feel like, oh, I'm a fresh new person every day. I'm a fresh new. Everything feels new and feels exciting. I'm expressing myself in a way that's in alignment to who I am, because I'm allowing myself to be more of my swan self. I'm hearing the little voices of my angels talking to me. Right? All right. So that is your message from Universe 15. This one is so interesting. That went into a lot of different things. That's really awesome. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, click on the thumbs up, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.